He's supposed to be the man at the back of the room, and the Prime Minister is fighting hard to keep him there. But many Conservatives think Dominic Cummings should be fired for apparently breaking self-isolation rules. So today the Prime Minister tried this approach with senior MPs.
I think it would be much better if we could now move on. What we need to do really is to move on. Leave it aside and move on.
He said there would be no official investigation into Dominic Cummings and claimed many of the allegations about him were false. They didn't all sound convinced.
You were with him for 6 hours. Did you see the evidence to prove that?
Meg, I don't want to
yes
go
or no,
into,
Prime Minister. It's a simple question. Yes or did you see the evidence?
I don't want to go into much more than I've said.
It's a simple question. Did you see the evidence?
If it pleases you, I will say yes, I did. But I don't want to.
Okay. Well, if that's fine. Prime Minister, you saw the evidence. Would you agree that it would be a good idea for the Cabinet Secretary to see that, or for it to be published?
It would not be doing my job if I were now to shuffle this problem into the hands of officials.
You have a choice between protecting Dominic Cummings and putting the national interest first. Which will it be, Prime Minister?
Well, I think my choice is the choice that the British people will want us all to make, Yvette, and that is, as far as we possibly can, to lay aside party political point scoring.
But some of the Conservative MPs were only slightly more forgiving.
This is now a distraction. People are very annoyed, Prime Minister. Is that on your radar?
I do understand why people feel such indignation about the whole business and the pain of the whole business of the lockdown. But I really also think that what they want now is for us to focus on them and their needs, rather than on a political ding-dong about what one advisor may or may not have done.
The Prime Minister tried to shift the focus here onto the new test and trace system, but even that now seems harder to sell.
If you're phoned up and told to stay at home, is staying at home compulsory, or can people use their judgment?
We will be asking people to stay at home. If they don't follow that advice, what we will be saying is we will consider what sanctions may be necessary.
As to why widespread testing had not been in place earlier, there was this admission about previous outbreaks.
This country did not learn the lessons of SARS or MERS, and we didn't have a test operation ready to go on the scale that we needed.
He said a full-scale test and trace operation was now in place, but that needs public support, and tonight more than 40 of his own MPs are openly calling for Dominic Cummings to resign for risking that support by undermining Downing Street's own message. Carl Dinnan, News at 10, Westminster.